What up, everybody? Jazzco has been slow rolling our Plus Ultra promos and our Provisional Store Championship promos, but at time of recording, we have finally gotten them all. And so what we're going to do today, both me and Twitch chat, is we are going to take and look at them, read the cards, figure out if they're good or not, and then run it. So strap in, everyone, and let's get it rocking. Yeah, so the first one we're going to talk about is Battle for the Future. I'm going to get a poll up. Card good? Question mark? Yes. No. Nah. Battle for the Future is a 3/4 with the infinity symbols. 3/4 of the infinity symbols. Has a 4 mid block, which is totally fine. Says response, discard 2 momentum after your rival plays an attack, discard it from their card pool. When this card leaves your card pool, remove it. It's got no keywords. It's got, it's an action, so it's like a trap that comes out of your hand. A lot of people have been describing this as like, a, decoy duplicate, but it costs 2 momentum instead, right? I think that, thank you so much. I think that this is a very, very cool card. I don't know how much play it's going to have. I think that there's a lot of really good actions right now. I think there's a ton of really good actions right now, but I just don't know if Battle for the Future is going to make it in a lot of lists. The first thing that my brain goes to is, like, Denki 2. I think Denki 2 with Battle for the Future seems really scary. Or, like, any manifest symbols, right? But, like, if you're playing manifest, that means that you're also, like, I don't know. It's this is such a weird spot, right? After rival plays an attack, discard it from the card pool. When it leaves your card pool, remove it. I don't know. You guys are split. It's not bad. That's the bare minimum that you guys are saying. It's just not bad. Let's move on to Strong Arm. 3/5/1 high block, also in action. It shares all of Rappa's symbols. It's got Evil Fire Order, and it has the punch keyword. It says change each combo requirement for your next attack to punch. Period. What that means is that essentially Strong Arm with a single punch, with a single combo requirement card, fulfills the combo. So you play it on a 3, and then you play your cool combo, and then it pops off, right? Which is neat, which is super, super neat. And then response, discard momentum after your rival makes a check to block with a non-attack card. Their check gets -3. So Cyclic in the chat brings it up. At the moment, I don't think there's any combo attacks that are worth playing this. There isn't, right? Yeah, it's actually just not good enough. Like, truthfully, it's just not good enough. So, like, I think that this is a bad card. Maybe in future, like, you're going to want to pick up 4 of these because in the future there might be some really cool punch requirement or punch combo or combo card that, like, changing multiple punches is, like, really solid. But at the moment, Local buddy of mine loves it with I mean, that makes sense, Fallon, right? That makes sense. Playing Strong Arm into a punch, into a and readying all your cool cards. That's neat. That's neat. It won't see anything but casual play if it sees play at all. And you guys are Superman on it. This one is divisive. The meaning of manly. 2/5, 2 low block. Asset. It has the ally keyword. It is unique. It says response. It's got all of Kirishima 1 and Tetsu symbols. So Earth, Good, Void. Response, after you take damage from an unblocked attack, add 1 manly spirit counter to this card. And then form, so anytime that you're not playing an attack card on your turn, Commit your next attack with a printed difficulty equal to the number of manly spirit counters on this card passes. No check necessary. So, the thing about this is the form says your next attack with a printed difficulty equal to the number of counters on this card passes. It does not say equal or less. So you kind of have to like make a choice of, do I want 4 counters? Do I want 5 counters? Am I playing a bunch of 6 diffs that I just want to play on the end for free? And once you've made that decision, you have to figure out, okay, how many times am I allowed to take an unblocked attack? How much damage reduction do I have? There aren't a ton of characters in the game that are allowed to just take 5 unblocked moves. You kind of have to be playing this really awesome damage reduction style deck of like, yo, I'm going to make your move do go from 7 damage down to 2 damage, and then I'll take it. I'll put my counter on, right? I think there's some really, really cool things that you can do with this, right? There are plenty of amazing bombs on all 3 of these symbols that would love to be played as like the 4th or 5th card by form commit. Play this one for free. I don't play a check. Like, there's some super good ones. Good thing all my attacks are 4s. Yeah, well, the Lull Drifter, that's perfect for you, right? I think this is a good card if you are trying a build around. But is this worth the asset slot? I don't know. Maybe under these symbols? Yeah, maybe it is, right? Like the Earth Good Void assets that we have available to us. Yeah, Earth Good Void assets are maybe like not where it's at. Tetsu. I mean, Tetsu, Kirishima 1 are like the obvious ones, right? And under one of these symbols, under the Earth symbol, like Kirishima 2 is good. But Kirishima 3 hates this card. He can't take a bunch of neat and muscular. Agreed. Earth DR Mimic. Yeah, you could do that, Littlefoot. Like there's places where this deck wants to be. For sure. Alright, we'll keep going. Trigger. 2/5. 2 high block. It's got all of Mimic symbols. It's Chaos, Earth, Evil. Response remove, lose 2 health. After you play an ability on your character, draw 1 card. Ready 1 Foundation has not been ready this combat phase, period. That's very good. I play the ability on the card. I ready a thing. I draw a card. It feels great. Losing the 2 probably not the worst. And then Mimic response once per turn. After I make a check to play a card, that check gets +1, playable while committed. This card, I think, single-handedly makes Mimic A tier. I'm already a huge Mimic fan. I have a Chaos Mimic deck that is my classified fun deck that I am absolutely in love with. And this card just like slots in there perfect out of 4 of and is like is incredible. This card is incredible for that character. So like the fact that we have a Mimic response is like so solid. Yeah, this card is rad, and we're gonna see a lot of Mimic. A lot of Mimic just because of this card existing. Hardened Blitz. 6/3, 1 high block, 4 high for 6. Has 3 keywords of Charge, Fury, Slam. It has the Death, Earth, and Fire symbols, which I think is interesting. It says, as a static, this card can't leave my card pool due to my rival's effect. If we go back and we look at the it's not Bright Future, it's the action we just talked about. I literally can't remember the name of it. That card can't kick this card. This one says, enhances attack gets +1 speed for every foundation destroyed this turn, which is good. And then enhance destroy a foundation if I have 5 or more cards with hardened or red in its name in my discard pile. This deck gets +5 damage. Fight for the future. Thank you, Cyclic. Fight for the future. I think this card is good. The only issue with this card is it is so reliant on you playing the other hardened and red cards in your deck. And I think that this is almost exclusively an Earth card, because you get things like Hardened Uppercut, right? You get things like Hardened Punches, or the red punch, right? I think this is a good card. I think it is very good. The question is like, is that package, the hardened red package, better than like the average Earth stuff? Probably not, right? Is it better than the average death stuff, like Death Furies? Probably not, right? I think this is a very, very cool card. I think this is a desirable card. I am nervous about the validity of playing this card when you have other options that do what this thing wants to do a little cheaper. Is my only thing. It looks like you guys are also pretty on the fence about it. Simile Strike. This one is so interesting. It's a 3/3, 2 mid for 2. It's a 2 high block. Response after you block this card, added to your momentum, period. Enhance, change the zone of this attack, period. This has the charge keyword and shares 2 symbols with Jiro. Strongest symbols in the meta? Mr. Fancy, we'll talk about it after the video. I don't think this card is very good. I think that it doesn't quite do enough damage, but in the obvious I'm Jiro kind of deck, like, yeah, it makes sense that Simile Strike does. I mean, the response is incredible, right? The response is absolutely fantastic. This is a 3-diff, 2 mid for 4 in Lemillion, which is like a fine place to be. Just enhanced chances on this attack is like whatever, right? This card is a big pile of whatever. Yeah, I guess like the only thing is like, I guess under air, like under air and no, it's just air. He's got air, earth, void. Under air, Moonfish gets this. Under chaos, Uabami gets this, right? It's like it's less than 3 damage. Yeah, this card's iffy for me. Stem momentum on defense that isn't just manifest is pretty hot for Mario. I don't disagree with that. Yeah. The block is really good. My issue is at that point this is a 3-check action, right? This is just a 3-check action that like doesn't actually like really do anything. This 3-diff is not this is not Red Guard, for example, right? Like Red Guard, that's a beating. That card's very good. This card's not that. We'll move on. Seafood Slugger. Seafood Slugger. It's a 4/3, 2 low block, 3 low for 4. It has all of MHACCG symbols. It has the punch keyword, which is great. If this card is added momentum, add it and face up. First 4 momentum, seal a rival foundation, period. That's very strong. Hey, that one doesn't work. And then enhance, if you have more momentum than your rival, destroy 1 rival asset or add the top card of your deck to your momentum face up. That's very, very strong. Just letting MHACCG snap more face up momentum is very, very scary for his scaling. I don't think that this is a 4 of index. This card is probably like a 2 or a 3 of. Like I don't hate this being like a 2 of and like Chicken Kick being a 2 of if that's the kind of deck that you're trying to play. But like just stealing a free momentum or destroying a rival asset is good. Like it's very, and at the very least, like this could be like sideboard, right? I'm fighting against a Mimic, right? And they're building too many assets. This is selectively destroy an asset. A thing that we haven't really had like a way to really interact with, right? Interacting with assets is really, really hard. Now MHACCG does it 2 times. He's got 2 cards that mess with assets. Very, very cool. Yeah, I am very excited to play with some Seafood Sluggers. Up next, we have Trigger Transformation. It's a 7/3, 2 mid block, 5 mid for 6. This is a Chaos Earth Evil. Fury Slam. This deck is -1 difficulty for each asset in your stage, maximum 3, so it become a 4 diff, right? This deck gets 1 damage for each asset in your stage, and it's a 5 mid for 6 that sometimes is a 4 diff. sometimes can get anywhere from like +1 to like +6 damage, depending on like I played Mimic today and I actually had 7 assets out. Like I had 7. So like this thing being a 4 diff 5 mid for 13 feels really, really good. And then Mimic, Katsu Kami enhance, discard momentum, build a copy of Trigger for my discard pile. I think there's some really specific. This card is the what is the name of that card? I will find it real fast. The DLC card. We'll look. Shocking Entrance. This is the shocking entrance of the other 2 symbols, the Earth and the Evil symbol. I still like Shocking Entrance more in the Chaos build, but I think Evil and Earth have a real shot with this. Somebody asked, are those the same person? They are not the same person, but they are the 2 characters that use Trigger in the show, right? They get fused before he goes kaiju, I think. I don't remember that. I just thought that like he just used the drug. But maybe he fused them. It's been a bit. But anyways, yeah, this card is super cool. I think it's really niche. It feels very Mimic exclusive, because I don't even think Katsukami wants to like play Trigger necessarily. But we do have the 2 boys on here as well. Villainous Teamwork. What up, Scavenger? How's it going, man? 5/3, 4 mid for 5, 2 mid block. Ally Slam. This is all of Katsukami's cards. Earth Evil Life. If this attack is played from a zone other than your hand, it ignores progressive difficulty, period. Enhance, destroy 1 asset in either stage, gain health equal to its difficulty. So this card is neat. I like we were talking about asset hate. This is asset hate. Hey, I'm gonna blow up your asset, and then I'm gonna gain 2 to 3 health. That's pretty good. that's pretty good. And then the if it's played from a zone other than my hand, ignores progressive, is also really cool for a lot of different decks. This one's neat. Yeah. This is neat. My issue is like, who wants to play it, right? Like, who really wants it? Katsukami doesn't mind this one, but like under his symbols, I think there's just better options. It's interesting this card has the ally keyword. I mean, obviously they're friends, but like, I wonder what that does of in decks. It's interesting. Wave Motion Manipulation. 5/3, 4 high block. 2 mid block. It has all of Nejure's symbols. It's a 4 high for 5 ranged combos with a high. If I have less health than my rival, this deck gets -1 difficulty. So as I pay my health, boop, 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 it this is a 4 diff low block, right? It says combo enhance, so it combos with a high attack. Commit 1 rival foundation, period. I selectively commit 1 of yours, and then I gain my 2 health back. This card is great for Nejire. This card's super good for Nejire. I am excited to see what this card does. My issue is I think that there are too many good mid-block slots for these 3 symbols for this card to really see slots. I think this is cool, but I just don't know how much play it's going to see. With that being said, it's a 4 diff, 4 high for 5, and that is like meteor shower stats, right? Like that's a good stat rate. If you do it, this card just like isn't allowed to be the opener, is like the thing. Like it just can't be. It can't be the opener. This card does feel very good whenever you're the 7-hander and you're fighting 6 and 5-handers though, because you always start less. You'll just like always have less, right? There's at some point where this card like feels like it's very good, and then it gets very bad, right? And I'm not positive if I'm allowed to play cards like that. My psyche would be permanently damaged. We'll move on. Locking the Building. It's a 2/5, 2 mid-block, enhanced card pool flip. It has the all earth and void symbols. Enhanced card pool flip. You may play one ready foundation from your stage face down into your card pool as a block with a 1 mid-block block modifier to block this attack. This is an incredibly, incredibly powerful card. I block with Locking the Building. I flip it in my card pool and I block with a 1 mid block. That's nuts. Play a ready foundation in my stage face down into my card pool. That's incredible. And then Response Destroy, after an attack is played, it cannot leave the card pool during the combat phase. That's neat. Doing things like my issue is it's not an enhance, so I have to my opponent has a 0 gravity lift per se, right? We can't, like, they 0 gravity lift and then I lock in the building and be like, no, not that one. That one doesn't get to leave, right? It's proactive instead of reactive that you have to lock the card down. All in all, though, I like this card a lot. I think this card is super, super rad. This card is super, super good. I like it. It just feels like a tech piece. It feels like a tech piece. I dig it. And then the last one of these, Up in Flames, 2/5/3 low block breaker 1. Enhance, add this foundation to your card pool. If there are no cards in your rival's card pool, they add an asset or foundation with a keyword from their stage to their card pool and build the top card of their deck. Committed. This card is interesting. So I think, here's the cool thing about this card in Chronostasis, right? So I Up in Flames, I enhance and I Up in Flames, and I add it to my card pool, and it has Breaker 1. My opponent adds their card up. I then pay my 2 health, I play Up in Flames again. I play it because it's a breaker card. I play it as the move, and then I build out. And my Up in Flames, I played it. I didn't add the new fresh copy, so I get to build it back in. That's neat. That's really, really neat. I think it's like a 1 or a 2 of in Chronostasis. And it might be a sideboard tier, right? Of like, if I have a way to clear the card out of my card pool or whatever, right? But like, I have to do it on offense. There's no cards in my rival's card pool. They add an asset or foundation with a keyword from their stage to their card pool. I think assets are going to be all over the place. I think assets are going to be huge. And so like being able to just like stuff an asset into their card pool on my turn feels good. It feels good, but I don't know. This one's a pretty big meh for me. I like it. I think it's very cool, but I don't know how much outside of Chronostasis how much play it's going to see. From here, we're now moving on to the Provisional Store Championship cards. These are the cards that you can get by going to your Provisional Store Championship, and some of them by winning your Provisional Store Championship, like Bubble Girl. 720 has Air, Good, Water. 720. Enhance once per turn. Name a card. Copies of the named card get +2 to the block modifier until the end of this turn. Where's her Undaunted raid symbol? That's a great question to Mavs fan. Maybe she doesn't have one. Who knows? And then enhance, commit a foundation. This attack gets +X or -X speed. X equals its block modifier. So the cool thing about this is she says commit a foundation sometimes get like +3, +4 speed. Like she makes moves very, very fast. And then sometimes you can commit a foundation to give things minus like +3, +4 speed. It's really, really strong. The issue is I think that her gameplay loop is going to be difficult, and she is a 7-hand size character. Truthfully, she's a 7-hand size character that I think is just going to get mollywopped because commit a foundation for +X speed or -X speed might be too high of a cost. With that said, it really truly just depends on like what cool cards does Bubble Girl get to increase on her side, right? How does she finish off the game? That's the question. That's the question, right? If we still had One with Nature as a card, right? Well, maybe that doesn't work that way. I mean, the bubble throw is good, right? Because that increases every block modifier, which is like an additional +1 speed. Yeah, it's interesting. All right. Yeah, we'll move on. Charged Shield Breaker. 5/2, 2 low block, 2 mid for 7, breaker 1, punch. This has all of Fat Gum's symbols. Enhance. This gets a speed for every ready rival foundation. The more foundations that you have, the quicker this guy gets. So this one feels really good to play first and then figure out how to splice stun on it, right? My opponent is in deadlock. They've got a bunch of ready foundations. I give this thing 2 speed stun 1 with pull no punches. I give this thing 2 speed stun 1 with pull no punches. I give it 7 speed because of your committed foundations, and then I stun 2 you. Boop, boop. Feels really good. I think this in like Midoriya 1 or Midoriya 3, excuse me, feels like a Nito card, right? It's a 5 diff, 2 mid for 7. So boom, and then I'll give it stun. I'll give it the speed and then stun you for 2. Like that feels very good. This card is very, very neat. The only issue with it is it starts as a 2 mid, right? But it's a 2 mid for 7. Maybe it didn't need the 2 check, but like it hits for 7 damage, right? It's a 5 diff, 2 mid for 7. So like I think that there's going to be somebody who wants to play this card really, really well. I'm not positive who off the top of my head. From here, Maximum Overhaul. 5/3, 2 mid block, 4 low for 5. 1 and Tam is crazy for thinking otherwise. I have not said that this card is bad. Hold on, let's put the record straight. This card is not bad. This card is not bannable. This card's nuts. This card's not nuts. This card is fine. If you've played a card from anywhere other than your hand this combat phase, add up to 3 face down foundations to your hand. This attack gets 1 speed and 1 damage for each card added to your hand this way. So like, lose 3 face downs for +3/+3, and then Overhaul Enhance, build a card from my hand face down or face up. If it was just add the cards, to your hand and didn't have this rider of if I've played a card from anywhere other than my hand this combat phase, add up to 3 face. If it didn't have the rider of if you've played a card from anywhere other than your hand this combat phase, I would agree with you. It's cracked. It should go. That is so hard to do in so many characters. This card doesn't. You mean pick up 3 attacks I've snuck into my stage? Yeah, but that means you had to get there, man. Like you had to do that, right? It's an Overhaul card for sure. It's good in Overhaul. Overhaul's a good-ass character. This card's not going to be banned. Like, this card's not bannable. It's not ban-worthy. If you get me with a Maximum Overhaul, yeah, man. Cool. Sure, but as Overhaul, it's cracked. I just disagree. I don't think it is. The Overhaul Enhance is very good. Build a card from my hand face down or face up. I think that's very neat. I think it's super, super neato. I'm excited to be proven wrong. Again, every time I do one of these silly videos, prove me wrong. But I don't see this card destroying the meta in some abysmal way, right? I think it's a really, really cool dunk, right? If you have a problem with this card, then like you're like, man, Texas Smash does this but way freer. Right? Texas Smash is like a 9 damage move that like doesn't do this. I don't know. No. That's how I feel. You guys came out of the woodworks for that one. All for One Unleashed. It's a 6/1 1 mid block, 5 mid for 6. It has all of Midoriya 2's symbols. Fury Punch, response card pool, Once per enhanced step, after you discard a card to pay a cost during your attack, build the discarded card face down. I think this card is rad. I get that the fact that like you guys don't like 6/1s. I get the fact that you guys I think that in Midoriya 2, I think this is a super rad card. I think this is super cool. It's a 7 mid for 9 that builds you a card every time that you play it. This card is sick. And the Deadlock Enhance draw 4 cards, you kill them. You just kill them. This needed 1 more speed. So a 7 for 9 is what sold you on it. But the fact that it's 6 for 9 is like not it. Interesting. I think with the amount of draw power that these 3 symbols have, specifically the good symbol with things like Valiant Assault, I think this card is crazy at like extending and like pushing and just going for it, right? I think there's so much that this symbol wants to do, right? I think it's really rad. I like this card just a ton in Midoriya 2. I get in the other Midoriyas, it's whatever. Midoriya 2 loves this card. I'm in. Take off the pointless deadlock, give it a 3 check, and it might be playable. I think the fact that you're saying might be is so silly. I think that's crazy. I think this card is playable. I think this card is good. Rescue Counterattack. It's a 5/3, 2 low block, has all of Mirio's symbols. It's a 5 mid for 4, so it's a 5 whatever for 6 in Mirio, Fury Slam. Response, after you block with this card, add it to your hand during the end phase. Enhance, this attack gets plus X damage. X equals the highest block modifier on a card in your card pool. So this is interesting because we have like this card's like a 2 low block that we like get to pick back up and like slam it down on my turn. Like I like the idea of it being a counter attack. I block, I play it again, and it gets plus 6 damage. X looks the highest block modifier on a card in my card pool. This is the first one in my card pool. It's just like it's a 5 to 5 for 8 in Mirio, right? It has Fury and Slam. Again, I don't think that it is I don't think that it is a I don't think that it's like a mandatory card in the good symbol, but I think under Air and Chaos, I think this card is rad. I think this card is super cool. Yeah, I like this card. I think it's gonna be tough to find room for it in the good symbol, but I think Air and Chaos get to play this card really well. And with that, guys, that's it. That's all the cards. This is gonna go to a UVS Ultra page. This is all the cards that exist in the Plus Ultra packs, as well as the other kits. With that said, you guys, or the Provisional Store Championships cards. With that said, you guys, are you happy? Are you happy with the quality of the promos? Being unique, mechanically unique promos aside, are you happy with what these cards do? You're not happy with them. I think a lot of these cards are really rad. Seafood Slugger, Trigger. I like Locking the Building. I like Maximum Overhaul, All for One Unleashed, Rescue Counterattack. I think all of these are very cool. The Meaning of Manly is gonna see some cool play. I'm such a Mimic fan that like Trigger's gonna be all over the place for me. Hardened Blitz like opens up a new way to play the game. I think this is neat. I think that this is super cool. With that said, though, you guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today and watching this YouTube video. If you like this one, make sure to check out the other My Hero Academia collectible card game preview videos that I have done here on the channel. With that said, you guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I wish you well.